swap on the track right here.
People, good people, good people.
Hey y'all.
What's going on?
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Welcome back to Marriage Monday. I always want to say Marriage is Monday.
It can be. Marriage can be Monday. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live episode of Marriage is Real with your host, Damien.
And Jamie.
Collectively, we are known as Marriage is Real. How's everybody doing today?
I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas.
A Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah.
You know, all that good stuff, however you roll. We thank you guys for tuning in and joining us today. Boy, we getting good numbers already. Single mama that could. What's going on?
Hey, everybody on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, so I finally got it up. Okay. Thank you. Happy holidays to you guys as well.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Love her hair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I did it. I did her hair.
Little blowout, little song, little added, little song, trying to make me like something.
I did her hair.
I hope y'all was able to see our intro video. We trying something different with Facebook anyway.
Did y'all see our intro video on Facebook?
I'm trying to figure it out with Instagram. I don't know what to do.
Instagram is still kind of funny.
Thank you so much.
Instagram is kind of funny with how they let you move.
Yeah, stuff. So, I know. That's what I'm talking about.
We're just trying to make the best of what we got, and we are 3 days left in 2020.
Today, 28.
Yeah.
Today, 28, December 28th.
2020.
No, it's 20. Oh, it's 28. Yeah, today, 28. Today is somebody's birthday. I think it's Kendra's birthday. Hey, Kendra, shout out to you if you're out there. And whoever else's birthday, I think Tequila birthday might be tomorrow. Somebody's birthday.
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, so happy birthday to you. Hey, y'all. So we've letting some people come in. I'm trying to look at both of these. Okay,
So we are through the pretty much at the end of the year. 2020 has said a lot and has been very
trying to stay in the frame because I
keep forgetting I got a mouse now. 2020 has been very interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of learned lessons, a lot of perspective and
that's real,
and things like that you just won't forget after this year. This one is for the record books for sure.
Absolutely. We've seen nothing like this in our lifetime, and Lord, I hope it's on a decline and it's on its way out so that we can get back to life. I can't even say as we know it, but some sense of normalcy
as close as possible as we
going forward, how life is going to be, but without all of the rhetoric and rigmarole.
I'm ready for all of this election stuff to be over and just everything that's been going on, so we can just kind of get back to some semblance of normalcy as much as humanly possible, I guess. But oh, look at that, we fancy. We got a ticker. That's what it's called, a ticker.
A ticker.
That's what I said, a ticker.
Okay, ticker. So y'all, without further ado, getting right into what's going on. Did we get all the housekeeping stuff out of the way? Anything else? I feel like it's something, I don't know. But so tonight we are continuing with CRAVE, the acronym CRAVE, as we've talked about before.
And so just a kind of a quick recap of what we've talked about previously, the C in CRAVE, basically CRAVE is about craving your spouse. And we came up with this trademarked acronym for CRAVE. Mm-hmm. C stands for communication. You have to make sure that
that's not Crips, that's CRAVE.
You have to make sure that you communicate with your spouse. What's the R?
R is for respect. RESPECT.
RESPECT.
Find out what it means to me, to him, to her, whomever your spouse is. Recognize and know what respect means to them.
Right.
So,
got to make sure. And respect isn't just for men. It's a very important thing for us as men. And it's just, it's important for women as well. So it's not mutually exclusive to just men. Both parties need respect, because who wants to be disrespected?
nobody. And again, as we've, said in some of the previous broadcasts, for women, respect and love kind of go hand in hand, and it can be, synonymous. So if she feels disrespected, she could most likely feel like she's not being loved or you don't love her. So it's absolutely just as paramount and important for women to feel that respect, just as it is for men to feel respect and honor. So
you're gonna go back to so we can see the comments.
This ain't gonna stop you from seeing the comments.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So anyway,
and then the next part is the A for my favorite, arouse. So you got to communicate.
A was for, not for arouse, it was for attraction.
Attraction/arousal.
Yeah, but remember we said arouse is going to be under the umbrella of attraction. You forgot. He forgot, y'all.
I got the notes. It's arouse, attraction.
He forgot. But yes, so the A was for attraction/arouse, or arouse/attraction, however you want to, put it. Yeah, and so tonight we have gotten to the V of CRAVE, which is value. And just for those who don't know, the E stands for execute, but tonight we're talking about the V, which is value. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's talk about value. What does value mean? The definition of value is what something is worth, or to hold in high regard. Something that you take care of, something that you appreciate, is to value something. Like if you get
listen, go ahead.
Like if you get a new car, you're not gonna treat that brand new car like the beater that you've had for 10 or 15 years.
Right.
You're gonna put that car in the garage. You're going to probably clean it more than the normal car. I mean, your old car. You're going to be more attentive to it because you value it, and you probably appreciate it more than your car that, is leaking oil everywhere. It's, smoke coming out the back. It's not going to have the same value as your new vehicle. And so that's one of the things that you need to do when you are with your spouse, is you want to make sure that you value them. Right.
And sadly, we have a tendency to value things and possessions more than we value people, and, in particular, our spouses. So it's easy to attach that value or to cherish something that is tangible. I mean, I guess person is tangible too, but that's considered more materialistic. It's easy to, go outside and wash your car on Saturday and make sure it's clean, and, make sure you take care of that new fresh pair of kicks and your red bottoms, and I don't want to get no mud on them, and do all that type of stuff for the things. But are you doing that and making sure that your spouse feels just as valued as your favorite car, or your favorite pair of shoes, or, your piece of jewelry, or whatever it is? So that was a good way for me, I'll say, to kind of remember and take mental note and mental stock of what value is, not to compare them to an item, but if that's what helps you to remember, then do that. But go ahead. I mean, what's the big long pause for?
I was just making sure you were finished with what you were saying. Another thing that you can do, another way that you show your spouse that you value them, is to come to their aid or their defense. Like if someone is attacking them. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical, but if someone is attacking your spouse's character,
Right.
or they are, it could be another family member, it could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your sister, whomever could be coming to attack your spouse.
Right.
And you show them that you value them by protecting them.
Right.
Because it could be said that if you don't, your value or your lack thereof could be called into question.
Right.
If you don't protect them, if you don't stand up for them and say, hey, I'm not gonna let you talk about Jamisa like that.
Okay, Jamisa. Right. So, and not like I know you're saying attack, so most people understand that we don't mean physically attack, but of course, if somebody's trying to physically attack your spouse, you need to, of course, defend them. But attacking them verbally with words or emotionally attacking them, whatever the case is, make sure that you are letting that person know that, no, this is my wife or this is my husband. We're not going to do that. Don't. And then another thing that you don't want to do is make sure that you don't add to what the other person is saying. If they saying, oh, she needs to cook more, you're like, yeah, she really do. She do need to cook more. You know what I'm saying? Don't add to it. Even if that's how you feel, that's not the united front that you guys want to portray when you're around other people. And then you don't want your spouse to feel like you just basically ridicule them and embarrass them in front of people. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you feel, tell me when we get home. You know what I'm saying? So
because you teach people how to treat your
absolutely.
spouse. So if you are ridiculing and talking to them crazy, someone else might get the idea that it's okay because, hey, they did it. It must be acceptable.
Yeah, when they see that it's acceptable and you didn't do anything, it's like a bully. They gonna keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that person, out of respect for you, may not say anything. For instance, if it's me and it's Damien's dad maybe saying something to me that I don't necessarily care for, I may not go in on him like I would if it was somebody on my side of the family because it's his dad. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an example, because I really don't have a problem speaking up for myself, but I've never had to do that with him, because anytime anything seemed remotely like you saying the wrong thing, that will shut down real quick. And vice versa, even if it was my family, if it's something that is not conducive to the relationship, or I feel like you're judging them or whatever, let me just hold on. That's not your place. Let's stay, you know what I'm saying? So just making sure you do that. And another thing you don't want to do is, how can I say it? When you don't let other people speak, or you don't let your spouse speak for themselves. So if somebody is saying, oh, Damien, yeah, you're a great, real estate agent and whatever.
I am.
Or they're saying this to him, and I say, he ain't a real estate agent. He just show houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how do you think that's making him feel? Do you think that he feels like in that moment I value him? Because I just basically kind of downplayed and belittled what he did, regardless if he a real estate agent, a realtor, a broker, or whatever the case is. Why did I then have to say he ain't no broker? He's just a real estate agent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's good. Just be careful when that happens as well, because then women, sometimes men too, you're gonna want to go and cuddle and be all lovey-dovey, and that person ain't really feeling you at that point. They ain't receptive because they remember what you said and how you made them feel. Like, so you don't make me value, you don't make me feel valued. So I don't really feel that closeness and connection, that closeness and that connection to you right now. So
what's up, Stay Page? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
We got a comment over there.
Okay. Loving people isn't always convenient, but with things you can drop and pick up at any time. That's absolutely true. So with things you can drop it, pick it up, you get repossessed, take it back, bring, buy you another one. But with people, loving people isn't always convenient. That's the part of the sacrifice. It's not going to always be convenient. That's one thing that as humans, we would love to have things the way we want them all the time. That's not real life. even in being a parent, not just a spouse, but even in being a parent, even in being a son or daughter or whatever. Your parents can make things very inconvenient for you, but because of who it is, you just like, oh Lord, let me go on over here and do it, whatever. So that was a great
Very good
comment.
point.
The
Very
single
good
mama
point.
that could.
And then you want to make sure that you're willing to go above and beyond what is required of your position. You can't handle your relationship with your spouse kind of, I don't want to say normal, but you just got to know that sometimes it's going to require more. It's like what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to require more of you and in that relationship to show them that you value them. Because, for an example, if you're giving more energy to your job than you are to your spouse, that's not showing them that you're willing to go above and beyond.
Right.
The effort that you're putting in at work, you staying late, you cleaning the bathrooms, you're doing all this extra stuff, and you come home and you tell your spouse about that. It's like, yeah, I stayed late tonight and they didn't even ask me to, but I cleaned the bathrooms and I cleaned the conference room, and then we had a meeting, and you're just laying out all this different stuff that you're doing. But then you're not giving that same energy to your spouse.
Right.
That doesn't show them that you value them.
Right.
That doesn't show them that you appreciate them and that you hold them in high regard.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep in mind that if you set the standard here, what you do for your spouse should always be above and beyond what's considered normal.
Right. And one thing you have to do in anything that you do is remember, in relative to value, give people the benefit of the doubt. Give your spouse the benefit of the doubt. If like we always talk about having goodwill for one another. If you know that person has goodwill toward you, if something happens or they say something dumb or you feel like they say something stupid in the moment, it's like, okay, let me remember that this person has goodwill toward me. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he didn't mean it the way that it came across, and vice versa for men. Give women the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes it's easy to get an offense. Both parties. It's easy to be like, oh, that I feel offended because you said that. But it's like, if you know that person wouldn't purposely or with malice try to intentionally hurt you with their words, okay, give them the benefit of the doubt that, okay, you probably didn't mean it the way that I'm hearing it, or I know that you don't mean it that way, or whatever the case may be. But when you give people the benefit of the doubt, it makes it easier for you to continue to have that mindset and that attitude to value that person, because valuing your spouse is absolutely an attitude. It's a mindset. It all starts with the way that you're thinking about the person and the way that you're thinking about the relationship. Because if your thought process about it is wrong now or initially, or whatever, if there's any negativity or contempt surrounding the relationship or the person, it's very hard to value them. So that's, I think, the biggest thing, or I guess maybe we should have started it with that, is making sure that you're checking your attitude about it and your thought process about that person. What do you think? Because if you already going in negative, that I don't like her, I don't like him, he ain't no good, he ain't worth my value, he ain't worth me doing this, or she ain't, whatever, it's gonna be very hard for you to try to show that person that you value them, that you cherish them, that there's anything about them that appears or remotely seen needs to be cherished, if you will. So just always make sure that you are being mindful of what you're thinking, being mindful of what's on your mind.
And then make sure, like, if that person, if your spouse brings something to you, realize that, and especially if it's something that you're working on internally and they bring that to you, don't trip. You know what I'm saying?
Like, give an example.
Like, based on what you were just saying about them, somebody saying something, like them bringing up something that they want to talk to you about.
Right.
It could be something that you're dealing with internally.
But I'm saying, give an example just to help people to understand what you're saying.
So let's say you and I are having a discussion or whatever, and let's say I'm working on doing 100 crunches a night, but you bring up the fact that I don't do crunches. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I already know that I'm trying to work on my body. I'm trying to work on being healthy. I'm trying to work on being better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're bringing up something that I'm cognizantly working on within myself, and you bring it up, and sometimes that could be a sensitive area for somebody.
So it's a trigger.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying. So basically, don't, again, like I said, don't get an offense.
Exactly.
So basically, don't make it personal. I guess don't take it personally, or don't don't project onto them how you feel about yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Because sometimes when it's something that we're trying to work on ourselves, we can be a little touchy about it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you working on, like you got on the scale this morning and you saw that you lost a pound, and then your spouse come and say, you might need to lose a couple pounds. You might be a little more sensitive about that situation because it's something that you're dealing with. There's so much that goes on inside of us that we don't talk about.
Right.
But if someone else says that, it could be a trigger for what you're working on trying to be better about.
Exactly.
So don't be an offense.
Right.
And that was the word I was trying to think of. Don't be an offense because of that, if you know that you're working on that thing. And again, going back to what she said, knowing that the person that you're with hopefully has goodwill towards you. They're only telling you these things or saying this because they want you to be better. They only want the best for you. You didn't get with this person because you thought they were crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't marry you because I'm gonna marry me a crappy woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I married her because there was something about, first of all, she's fine. And she got long, luxurious hair, and she got the dimple.
Don't do that.
But I knew that there were things about her that helped me. And I tell her all the time, she helps me be a better man. And I saw those things in her that drew me to her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you get with that person because you think they got your best interest in mind. Nobody gets married thinking, oh, this is a piece of crap, and I think I want to spend the rest of my life with them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you got to know that this person has goodwill towards you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have issues, but at the end of the day, you got to know that your spouse has or should have goodwill towards you. So in what they're saying, you got to know that they want what's best for you, not that they're intentionally trying to attack and things of that nature, if that's the case. Right.
And that's where it goes back to your attitude toward the relationship and your attitude toward the person, remembering your why. Like they say, when men see their wives
like
coming down the aisle at the wedding or whatever, like in that moment, she's like the only woman that you see, and you just like so grateful for this person. And you know, that moment, hopefully for a man, remember that moment. Remember how you felt when your wife was coming down the aisle, like this woman is a gift, or she's a treasure, or I'm honored to, you know, be married to her, or I'm, you know, whatever, however you felt about it. Try to do your best to keep that same attitude, because attitude is your mindset. Keep that same mindset toward that person throughout the union, throughout the marriage, even when things get hard, even when there are old things that you're harboring, you know, like I said, contentment and all that kind of stuff. The attitude toward the person makes it a lot easier for you to value them. And then this is what I'll say too, recognizing that no one person can give you everything that you need. Like it's not even possible.
And it's unfair to think that someone should or could too. Right.
And so that's why I heard somebody say, you kind of gotta, what's the word? Kind of, I guess, choke out or die to the perception, or to that urge to want this person to be everything to you. You know what I'm saying? And just recognizing that you need to be focused and diligent about how you value them and the part that you play in the relationship. So
that's good.
Thanks.
And you're fine.
Thanks. And I'm hot. See my fan, y'all?
Hey, I am Decinta. I like your name. She said we need a podcast in 2021.
Oh, hallelujah, praise the Lord. We working on it.
Yeah.
So you let me speak, girl, and keep speaking it.
You spot on.
Yes.
Just watch.
Just keep
tuning in.
Watering that seed. Water that seed, dispenser. I appreciate you, girl.
We making moves.
Yeah, so we're actually working on that. So I'm glad you said that.
Can I say it? Can I say the name?
No.
Okay. It's so fire. But another way that you show someone that you value them, and you'll hear us say this. Oh, that's captured by the artist. Oh, you changed your name. I feel you. Salute.
Oh, hey, lady.
But another thing you do to show your spouse that you value them is you be their safe place.
That's
we
really
say that
good.
a lot.
That's real good.
And
because that vulnerability piece is so key in a relationship, in a marriage, because it's hard. Vulnerability is hard, period. But sometimes in marriage, I don't know why, it's hard for you to be vulnerable with your spouse. People might be like, that's your spouse. It don't matter. Vulnerability is hard. It's just hard.
And it can be really hard for us.
I was going to say, especially
and
for
being
guys.
vulnerable is not, it ain't really how we rock. Like
that's not even like for me, like
that's how you
value.
That's how you get beat up. Listen, you're vulnerable.
Value and vulnerability. Those ain't even masculine words that men want to say. I want somebody to value me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. That's not really what you hear guys say.
Come on, girl, let me be vulnerable with you. Dang.
But it's absolutely paramount. So I'm sorry, I broke.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna finish what you were saying.
Yeah. So you wanna be vulnerable with your spouse, because
you want to be able to be vulnerable with them. You talking about safe place.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you got off.
So you want to be you want them to know that you can come and be there and assist them with things by you being their safe place.
Oh, I'm talking about
what you say?
You tripping. You can show me you value me by giving me a large sum of money.
I feel you on that.
Me too. I feel valued in that moment too.
Facts. Yeah, I'm okay with being
spouses, mamas,
monetarily valued.
Friends.
I'm good with that.
Let the Lord use you. The benevolent fund, whatever the Lord leads you to do.
Yeah, but really and truly, when you're safe, when someone feels safe with you, aka being vulnerable, it's really a source of strength and power.
It is.
Because it's easy, because when you are not vulnerable, it's keeping someone at arm's length. It's easy and second nature for somebody to block. You know what I'm saying?
That's very easy.
But for you to say, okay, you know what I'm saying?
That's not only just saying okay, but also being honest about your feelings in that moment, at that particular time.
That's what that means. Okay.
Okay, don't tell us nothing.
Men understand what that means.
But being able to say that when you said that hurt me, or it's really hard for me to do this when it comes to this particular thing because I feel weak, or I feel like
I'm lacking in that particular area.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But being able to say those things that are hard or even embarrassing for you to that person helps them to see into you, and it also creates that closeness and that connection, which then helps to cultivate that person valuing you. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things I'll go talk about us, vulnerability for me was like we're not doing that. And I am the biggest crybaby, and I'm very sensitive.
At first, I seen her cry one time,
and that was when my grandfather passed away. But I would cry a lot. I just never wanted him to see me cry.
I think she
cried. It had to do with my domestication. It had to do with my past hurts, all of this stuff. And all of the ways, the attitude I had toward myself. So for me, I was always trying to be strong and appear to be hard. And it's not even hard, just try to appear to be strong and not let things bother me, because man, that's gonna just roll off my back, because that just was my mentality of that was my self-preservation. That was my self-defense mechanism. But for him, it was closing him off to me. Because it feels like you don't need me. You don't need me for nothing. You got it.
Right.
I ain't got to worry about it. But I didn't have it. I just thought that was me being strong. I thought that vulnerability was was a weakness. And I never wanted to be one of those women that cried and was like, I need you to, and I want you to be. I didn't want to be like that. So for me, I just kind of, I guess I can say I shut it down, even though it wasn't really shut down. It was just basically hid from him because it was still there. But it caused us to lack that closeness in the relationship that I longed for, because I didn't know how to cultivate it, because I didn't realize that I wasn't being vulnerable. I really didn't. I just thought that was how I was. I used to always say, this is how I am. And it really wasn't. It's just how this
lies. They were lies. They were.
Is what I taught myself to be because of the story that I wrote for myself. But once I was able to, what did you say? I was guarded or whatever. So once I was able to like break down some of those walls, then he was able to see more into me and why I did the things that I did and said the things that I said. So then it was easier for you to value me.
I could see into her soul. So what's up, Elisha and everyday H?
Hey.
Everyday with H and K. What's going on? HK?
Hey,
what's going on? Thank y'all for joining us.
The TikTok masters. I love it.
Dope content.
Let's see. Oh, did y'all put the peach? Yes. The center, it's on there. The Peach Marriage AF shirt is on there. I actually have it on, but it's hard to see because of this lighting. Let me see. Can y'all see it? Yeah. So, but it's on the site. It's up now. You can definitely purchase that. And she said, "Oh my God, Jamie, that's me. I've cried more in 2020. That's cried all my life." I'm telling you, I just used to be. And but what's crazy is when the water broke. When the dam broke, it's tears all the time now. Ain't no, even my kids be like, "Mama, you crying again?"
I got one word for y'all: Hallmark. I could have a bucket of tears right now for all the crying in the Hallmark movies.
I'll tell y'all
ain't y'all glad that Christmas is over so we ain't gotta watch no more Hallmark movies? I know the husbands is.
They're not over yet. They're not down.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm just playing.
the what's it called? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the episode with his daddy, every time
she cry. I'm like, what's gonna happen.
I done seen it at least 17 times. I cry
every time. You're not getting choked up now, are you?
No, okay. I'm hot now. Hey, Bobby Lloyd.
What did he say?
He said, "That's who you were according to the story you wrote for yourself." Absolutely. See? According to, and then later said, "I'm a Sag too. I get it." Oh, are you? See? You see? So you are virtual high five. So you understand. Because it was very hard. And especially, like I said, for me, it was more, my past stuff contributed even more to how I was. So, but he was always very open. But I just was like, "What are you doing? Why do we need to talk about this?"
Because she say that I'm a Libra, so we keep it like I'm not good at faking. I'm not good like.
I'll be like, fix your face, your facial expressions.
My mama knew when I was lying 100% of the time.
He is absolutely not a good liar.
I'm not. And so she asked me a question, I just do like this. Just wasn't that just ain't never been my thing. So it's better for me to go ahead and shoot it straight than to try to act like something we need to talk about. She talking about, "Oh hell, Libra."
Yes, ma'am. That's what I have over here.
Yes, you do.
But
so let's talk about some of the ways that you can. Oh, wait a minute. We got a comment from my little niece. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You grown now.
My husband is a Sag, and it took years for that vulnerability to kick in. He's always been emotional, but his hiding game was on point. I know. That's why I tell you all the time. I get it. I absolutely get it. And people would tell me, "You're just so mysterious." I really am not. I just ain't got nothing to say. They be like, "We're just trying to figure you out. We just really don't know." Because I'm in my mind, it ain't nothing for you to know. Because I'm
gonna let you know what you need to know, and the rest is none of your business.
Exactly. But for those that that's my people, I wear my heart on my sleeve now. But then it was crazy. But she said that's true. Yeah, so she know too. But yeah, so you were saying love the show, we have to collaborate.
What's up, Tony? You reading my mind, bro. I'm gonna message you. That boy.
It was that.
Yeah.
I loved it because
that was on point.
I was the whole time like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I was like, see, what?
Yeah.
I was like, see, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna reach out to that dude because we need to do some stuff. We need to collaborate on some stuff. So I'm gonna hit you up, Tony, for real.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk about ways that you can show that you value your spouse. One, prioritize.
Absolutely.
Make the person that's your partner a priority.
Right, right.
What I've been saying a lot lately, people will, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You make time for what's important.
Right.
If somebody says that they matter to you, make time for them.
Right.
So now, like, because you have to repeat what you're saying to yourself to hear yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I say I need to go to the grocery store,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to make time for that because that's a priority, right? But if you ask me to go to the grocery store and I'm making up excuses,
mm-hmm.
is it really a priority?
Right.
You're going to make time for what you need to make time for. You know what I'm saying?
Because they say if you just interchange the word, like if you say, I don't have time for that, or I don't have time, like if somebody say, oh, can you come over and help me, blah, 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 blah. And then you say, oh, I will, but I don't have time. Basically what you're saying is,
I don't want to.
You're not a priority.
Yeah. I don't want to come.
You're just not a priority because guess what? You make time for things that are important to you.
Right.
You spend money on what you want to spend money on because you'll say, I don't got the money for that unless it's something you want to have the money for.
Right.
So
that money come out the air. Yeah. Oh, you guess I found $78,000 to buy this car. So
when you saying I don't have time, you basically saying you're not a priority.
I want to tell a funny story about
Go
money.
ahead.
It's kind of off subject. So our son, he's pretty much he'll be 20 next week. So anyway, you know, we talking about money and stuff like that.
We've really been trying to teach him about the value of money, giving, saving, and
right.
All that.
So I was messing with him. I was like, yo, so he got a job, right? And so he's doing pretty okay. And so he got a bonus from his job. And I was like, I ain't got a bonus from a job since I worked in my church when I was 16 years old. I'm like,
I was Neiman Marcus token.
I'm like, man, y'all, I'll say, boy, you doing good. I said, since you got this bonus, go on and buy us dinner then. You know what I'm saying?
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, go on and buy us dinner. And he was like, okay, I'll do that. So then, you know, one of the places we like to go eat is a Cheesecake Factory. So, you know,
yes,
I'm a you know, I try to take care of my family, but he don't ever know how much that costs because he's been under our house, under our roof for all this time. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us what you want. You know what I'm saying?
So he's like, yeah, y'all go ahead, get what you want. So I'm ordering the food, whatever. And so I was like, okay, the bill is $110. If y'all could have saw the look on his, he was like, what?
So now it's 4 of us. So basically, he grown. He's 20. Our daughter is 15. So we all eating healthy, hearty meals. Okay.
Yeah.
So that joker, he was talking. He stopped dead in his conversation. And was like, I was like, yeah. You say you want 4 kids?
Yeah, he said he want 4 or 5 kids, but he tripping on 100. I said, boy, do you know how much food you eat? Shoot.
His food alone cost $50.
Yeah. Because he like the extras. Give me a side of this. Give me a side of that.
Oh my God.
But that was just when she said something about money, that just made me think about that. That was hilarious.
So basically prioritizing. If you say you don't have time for something, you basically saying you're not a priority to me.
Right. No activity, and this some of this stuff we're talking about now came from marriage.com. I'm gonna give them the props. No activity or responsibility should be more important than your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Period. That includes your mama. That includes your daddy, your sister, whomever it is. No one should be more important than your spouse.
Right.
We've been coaching a couple, and that was kind of an issue that they were having, is that they were having some issues about family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the prioritizing, aka valuing your spouse.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we kind of set as a precedent early on in our relationship is like, You can't get between this.
Right.
I don't care who it is.
You gotta protect the piece of your home
right.
at all costs.
Right. So you're not gonna be able to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but again, like you said earlier, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat your marriage.
Right.
Like people already know, hey, ask Damien if this is okay, or talk to Jamie and see if blah blah blah. Because
they know we've trained them now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like they know nobody gonna say nothing to me without saying, I know this is what they say. I know you gotta talk to Jamie. And I'm right, I do.
Right.
I have to talk to my wife because we respect and we value each other. There's a video that we've seen on Instagram a few times where there's a husband coming to pick his wife up.
Oh my God.
And his mother is in the front seat and she looking like this.
She hanging out like the car, like,
yeah. She like that. And his wife is like, yo, you just not gonna let me, you know. And it became an issue. So, you know what I'm saying?
And this was the wife said, you let her do this all the time. Talking about his mama. So you already know.
And do you think that she feels valued by her husband?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. What does that say to the bond of that relationship?
And to me, as a mother of a son, I would never do that to my son. I would never put him in a position to have that conversation or feel like he has to choose between his mama and his spouse. You don't sleep. You don't sleep with your son. You raise him well enough so that he'll know that your wife takes precedent. Because I ain't that type of mama that's gonna be trying to say, well, I'm your mama. Because if you've raised your son right and you ask them to choose, they supposed to choose their spouse.
100%.
Because it says leave and cleave. Right. We got to create our own culture, because what y'all doing over there, mama, we don't do that over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So women, ladies out there, please don't be that mother that puts your son in that position. Mm-hmm. That is so hard for them. And the thing about it is, it's not even about me anymore. It's not even about you anymore. Think about what you're doing to your son and what his household is going to be like. How this woman going to feel about him, how she feels devalued. So of course she don't feel like he love her. So then they having issues. I mean, it's just a whole thing, and it's not even worth it for something that's basically selfish. It's selfish. It really is. It's selfish. So let that man be happy and have a happy home.
So another way that you can show that you value your spouse is quality time. And I put my own little thing on her. It says time is essential to keeping any relationship healthy.
Absolutely.
And doing it.
Wait, what?
And doing it. That's what I wrote.
What?
Yes.
What? Read it again.
Time is essential to keeping any relationship healthy, and doing it.
Oh, in addition to time, having sex.
Doing it, yeah.
What have to do with value?
Because that's how you show somebody you value them, by doing it. She said, captured by the artist, said, repeat it. Time is essential to keeping any relationship healthy and doing it. I'm just saying. I mean,
y'all know that this is the man. Sex.
I'm just saying.
This is the man's
right?
definition of value.
You value me.
Sex me. Color me bad. Well, who was it? No, who was that song? Sex me, baby. Was it
R. Kelly?
Oh Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. I know everybody they not cancel R. Kelly, but that's value for some people.
Yeah.
Look the sense of
without it, there is no space to grow, change, and evolve together.
Really?
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Y'all gonna thank me later. That's all I'm saying. Y'all gonna thank me later.
Oh my God.
You are saying to your spouse that not only are that they're important, but you value every single moment spent by their side.
Bobby, put your thumb down.
See, Paul, no.
What is talking about Cardi B?
Listen to Cardi B. Wow.
Oh Lord Jesus, I'm not. She's talking about doing it. You put that under value. He absolutely did. Wrote it in with his own pen and everything.
See this pen right here? Somebody talking about what dictionary are you using? I'm using the Urban Dictionary, bro.
Every day with educate somebody, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
The remix though. The remix.
Oh Lord. Oh, bump and grind and value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lord.
That's how I be feeling valued though. I'm just saying. I be feeling real valued.
And this is y'all, I don't know if this is sad or if this is good, but it is so true for him.
am.
He really does feel valued in that moment. After that.
I'm so low maintenance.
He really is.
I am.
It's a really good thing. But
it don't take much to
it
make me
really,
happy.
and I'm telling y'all, for a woman, we don't understand this. We don't, because I still don't really fundamentally understand it. I understand it because he's told me. But the fact that you feel loved and valued because of sex, it's so like, I don't understand.
It's so right.
But this is my husband. I have to take him at his word. That's know y'all spouse. If that's what makes him feel valued, okay. Well, you don't cook and you didn't, worked on the car, whatever. If this is how you feel valued, okay. Because another thing that I always tell women that when I watch this, I got from Jimmy Evans. Some of us ladies, we have to be more sexual than we feel, because a lot of times our sex drives are not equal with our husbands. Most men want to have sex more than their wife. Now there are some exceptions where the women want to have sex more than the guy. Okay, but over here we're not the exception. So you have to be more sexual than you feel. So that's how he feels valued. And sometimes I have to take one for the team, But the one thing I will say is that he does what he knows that I need for me to feel valued. So just in knowing that, let me see somebody. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in addition to that sometimes you could spend more time fighting not doing it than actually doing it, and you could have been done doing it quicker than
why you keep saying doing it?
Because that's my truth. What my shirt say, marriage is real.
Okay,
doing it.
Well, I say getting booty.
See, I had a little class.
Y'all know y'all used to get booty back in the day when y'all used to play hide and go get it. Don't be like that. But yeah,
you spend more time arguing about it than you could have been and finished.
That's it. That is.
I mean,
but it's all in the mindset.
It's in the mind.
It's in the attitude. And my attitude ain't always that great, but he doesn't seem to mind. Not that it's like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. It's just kind of like, well, you know that I'm doing this for you. And in that moment, guys, don't feel like, oh, she's just doing this for me. Appreciate that she's doing it for you, because there are things that you guys do for us that we know you don't necessarily want to do. But I know you going to this store with me, or I know I want to go shopping for a new bed or sofa. I know you going for me. Right. So it's the same thing, and I appreciate it.
Come home and we gonna. I went to the store with you. That's the least you could do.
Nah, don't even try. Don't even try.
I'm just playing, y'all.
But yeah. So whatever makes know they love language. Whatever you got to do. I don't know. I just know what mine is, and I know what his is. And be a student. Be a student of your spouse so that you'll know what things make them feel valued. Women love to be wanted. So we like for you to tell us great things about ourselves and how we are who you want. We're the number one. You're the one. All these women out here, yeah, she cute, she fine, but I want you just because it's you. Not because, you work hard every day and you got, okay, well, if you strip all that stuff away.
I want you.
And it's just me. Do you still just want me? And that's what women want to know. Yeah. At the end of the day.
I want you.
Yeah.
I want you right now. She blushing, y'all. She knows what it is.
You are really tripping. Oh, let me see. We have some comments. She said, "I'm hollering doing it." She said, "Sex for men is like affection for women." Yeah, they don't get us and we don't get them, but that's how we are. Absolutely. I done did something. Let's see. Got another comment. Somebody said to doing it, not get booty. Let's see. He wrote it in his notes in all capital letters and doing it.
I did.
Oh my God. Selflessness. Absolutely. Every day with educate. Absolutely. Selflessness. Be a student of your spouse. Yes. Be a student of your spouse at all times.
Yeah.
you don't never graduate. You always going for what they call it, your master's and your PhD, your continuing education. You ain't never done.
That's one of the things we have to do is in real estate is you always have to do continuing education.
And that's with like,
yeah.
I used to do lashes, hair, whatever it is, real estate. Like you said, real estate, you got to do your continuing education if you want to stay.
All of the
if you want to stay up on the latest trends and technology and what's modern, don't get stuck back there in what them used to years.
Right.
Because that person ain't the same no more. Like we continue to change and evolve every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't
we
get
are
stuck.
not the same people we were back in the 90s.
No. Please don't get stuck.
When we used to wear the white shell necklaces and stuff.
You used to wear them.
I was hot.
Yes, the chokers came back in style though.
Have it for dudes?
I don't know about for no dudes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so don't get stuck on the used to years, y'all.
Right.
Come to the now.
Because I'm telling you, as you hit these decades, yo, things change.
Let me tell you something.
That joke ain't funny now.
Listen. Listen. It ain't funny no more. It really is not. But that's when your vulnerability has to come into play. And you have to say, you know, hey, baby, I know we used to play like that, but right now I'm feeling some type of way about my whatever. So. Because
I done put on 78 pounds and I don't like being called Pooh Bear no more.
Or puffing. Just making a word. Oh, that's my puffy little such and such. You don't want to be called puffy. It's not funny. But he's not gonna tell you. Because some men don't want to seem sensitive. I don't want to seem like I'm, just be honest. You know what I'm saying?
So Amber said, I agree, doing it is essential. Is that what you? Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about.
Oh my God, Amber, come get your brother. Stop with the doing it, okay? Well, that's what LL Cool J said. Doing it.
I was just waiting.
It works for him.
I knew he was gonna say it. I was just waiting.
But we're sorry, y'all, we got off on a tangent. But we are value. So being a student of your spouse lets them know how much you value them. And sometimes the easiest thing to do is just ask. I just asked him, we just asked each other the other day, what's my grade? Give me my report card. How have I been doing? Am I making you feel valued? Am I making you feel loved and safe and wanted? And, am I being affectionate? What's my grade? And just be honest. I think would you give me an A-? I don't even care what the minus is.
She a nerd.
I got an A.
She just wanted to bring up that she had
I
good
did.
grades.
I got an A-. So
I was on the National Honor Society.
You said that I did. But what I'm saying is,
you didn't say it on live.
But what I'm saying is, be a student and just ask the question. Sometimes for you to know how to value somebody, is to ask them. Because you may think you're doing a good job and you're not. I don't feel valued at all. I don't like when your mama come over here and you let her run amok. I don't feel valued in that moment. I don't like when I tell you something and then you go call your daddy and what he says take precedence over what I say.
Oh man, what?
I mean, sometimes daddy may have a better, he may have his opinion or his suggestion may have been like, oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, well, that's fine. Then come back and say, well, you know what? I talked to my dad about this too. What do you think about what he said? You know what I'm saying? Not just like, oh, well, that's what you said. I'm gonna do what my dad said. You know what I'm saying?
Some people do that.
Absolutely. People do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
my daddy said, well, your daddy ain't paying no bills here. So if you want to go with what your daddy said, go on. But
again, this all is contingent on a person having goodwill toward you and giving people the benefit of the doubt and knowing who you're married to. That's just what it is.
So captured by the artist, she said, what questions do you use? Does your check-in include? For us, this most recent check-in was regarding things that we had talked about before, just some issues that we were having. So it could be whatever issues you may have been talking about prior, and just kind of revisiting those issues. Are you wanting to know specifically what we were checking in about? Or are you just saying in general, what questions should one ask when they are checking in?
And that's what I love about what we do with this platform. Our prayer is that it creates a dialogue for you and your spouse. Like if that's something that y'all have never talked about, or if it's something that you want to talk about, blame it on us. Like I tell my kids all the time, blame it on your mama. My mama said I can't go if you don't want to go, even though you don't want to go, but just say my mama said no, whatever. So, so you can say, hey, I saw this podcast, I saw this couple on Instagram, they was talking about value and stuff. What is the, who, you know, even if you have to play it however you got to play it, sometimes you got to do what you got to do
just to get the conversation started.
So, yeah, just maybe just asking. Yeah, like she said, general check-in questions. It's subjective.
Mhm.
It's personal to what you're wanting him to know, or what you're wanting to know, or if you say, I want to check in with you on if I make you feel respected. Do you feel like I respect you, or do you feel like I disrespect you?
And so a lot of times what you might want, a good place to start might be starting with core needs. What are the core needs that you may have as a wife, and what your husband's core needs are? That might be a good place for you to start.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like, do you feel loved? Do you feel like, you know, security? Do you feel like he's honest? Does he feel like you have enough sex with him? Does he feel like, you know, like I said, does he feel honored and respected? Do you feel like I put other people or other things before you? Like, these are all great questions to talk to your spouse about, because I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I say this all the time. Sometimes you don't know because nobody has ever told you. Nobody has never, like, you have these people that just act a fool all the time. And then this is how I am. No, nobody ain't ever told you that. Don't nobody want to be around you because you talk loud and you're an idiot. You act ignorant every time we get around people, because everybody just lets you do that. And nobody has ever said, you're unpleasant and we really don't care if you come. You don't have to come no more. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't know because nobody's told you. You could always, if that's all you've ever known, if I think my hair is black and all I ever seen was black, and then I get out there and I see people with blonde hair, it's like, well, what's that? Because it's just, you don't know. It's something you haven't been exposed to. If everybody in your family talk loud and cuss and they hit each other or whatever, and you get around this other person, because of course you're bringing your life and meshing it with someone else, and they don't do that, you don't realize what you're doing is not acceptable, because this is all you've ever known. So I always say exposure breeds passion, but exposure also breeds expansion, you know, expanding your horizons. So, you know, and I was grateful to marry into, you know, Daniel's family, because their family was totally different than ours. We loud and rowdy, and it was all women. So it was different for me having to learn how to be with men around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't just always say everything, because people can get offended. Like, you know, when there's a lot of women talk about men. Girl, you know how men are, they such and such and such. Okay, but now you got these men in the room. You can't just say this because they may feel attacked, you know, or like, oh, well, I'm a man, so I don't do that, you know. So I digress. I stepped down from my soapbox at this particular moment. Okay. Did you have any more points about about value?
At the very bottom.
Well, wait. Jamie, that Texas accent is strong. Yes, it is, girl. Yes. Been here all my life.
Do I sound like I'm from Texas?
You sound like you from Oak Cliff. Oak Cliff, Texas at its finest.
I try to tone it down when we're speaking nationally.
Bye. Don't even do that.
So another way that you can show your spouse value, we can make this our last point since it's almost an hour.
And if anybody have questions, y'all,
you know,
getting those ready while he's talking.
Great, thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Team America.
High five.
Vocal gratitude, saying thank you, appreciating your spouse and truly expressing gratitude. Appreciate your wife or husband with a no holds barred approach. Look at appreciation quotes or relationship quotes to appreciate your spouse is a great place to get started. Everybody likes to be acknowledged.
Everybody.
You know,
everybody.
Hey, I appreciate and I like what you did with the house, or tell me you think my car clean. That's vocal gratitude. I saw you roll your eye.
I did.
She be tripping when I be talking about my car, because I be trying to keep my car clean. She like the other day, y'all. So I was out, it was cold, and I was outside washing my car, right?
It was 30 degrees outside, and his car was not even dirty.
See, she said, see how we see things different. My car was filthy. But she was looking.
I wish I had a picture to
She
show
was
y'all.
looking from afar, so she couldn't see the
car is white,
dirt.
so you can see dirt. The car white. You can see dirt on a white car. That car was
dirty. And I hadn't washed it for a while, so I needed to give it the design, the detail and the love that it needed.
It was in the garage.
That don't mean it ain't. But I drove it though into the world, into the elements.
Okay.
So.
Okay. 30 degrees.
Yeah, so it's time to watch it again though. But yeah, so making sure that you have gratitude and you acknowledge, you know, like if your wife looking good, like, hey, you looking good. I want to vocally gratitude you.
Vocally gratitude.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you vocal gratitude. Like, girl, look at you. Oh, you go like, girl, look back.
But I do agree with that because I know like when effort is sexy. If you say something to somebody like, hey, I really wish that you would, you know, try to start to implement, I don't know, bringing bananas home or whatever. I don't know. I'm just making up something. And then, you know, they bring a banana home or whatever, just even if it's like you want them to do it 7 times a month, they do it twice a month. Acknowledge the two. Like, baby, I appreciate how I see that your effort, I see your effort, I see you've been trying to bring bananas home. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I'm glad that you value me enough to, that ain't a little crunch in there. I'm glad that you value me enough to, you know, take what I said, take stock in what I said and try to, you know, put those practices into place. I really appreciate that.
You don't value me if you bring bananas here. I'm
not talking about you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Bananas are disgusting. Anything banana related. That goes for candy, smoothies.
I like banana flavor. I don't necessarily like the banana though. Same with coconut.
It's garbage.
But anywho, back to what we were talking about. So yeah, verbal gratification is great. I mean, what I say, gratification. That too. But now verbal gratitude is really good. I'm gonna tell y'all, for some people, if their love language is words of affirmation, what's the other one? Is that mine? You got too many. Okay? Because you got like 2 or 3 that's equal. So it make me have to work hard. I only got 1. It's my top.
My love language is doing it.
Shut up, David. Shut up. But anyway, what I was saying is it really cultivates a closeness and even a sexual energy, if you will, when you're telling the other person what about them that you value and love and appreciate. Like when he says, I've made him a better man. Why? And I'm like,
say that again. And do what did he do?
I'm like, what have I done?
I'm being a student, girl.
I don't understand.
What you said? It do what? What it do?
I don't understand
it creates
what I have done that makes you feel like you such the better man. You know what I'm saying? So, and if that's your truth, so if that's your truth, express that to them and tell them, you know, what it is that, you know, because they don't know. This is something that you feel. And when you open up and tell them that, it really does create a closeness and an intimacy. And then you could possibly don't do it with no motive, but if it works, go ahead. You're trying to get some, but you know, it may work for you. But but yes, telling somebody how much you appreciate them, that also helps to change their attitude about you, which
it's disarming.
Causes them to have more value for you.
It can be disarming.
So anyway.
So tonight we talked about the V of CRAVE. Value. Communication, respect, attraction, arousal, value. And then when we go live again, y'all, we're gonna talk about the E. Execute.
Was that an E?
I don't know what that was.
That's it. Execution.
Executing.
Putting it all into play. And execute. Another thing I was gonna say with V, we could have said V was vision. I will say this. Value is great. Absolutely. But you also need to have a vision for your marriage. Vision brings order to chaos. I forgot where I read that at, but I read that somewhere.
The Bible.
No, it wasn't the Bible. But vision brings order to chaos. So if you feel like there's, your marriage is not what you want it to be or how you want it to go or whatever, just like with anything else in your life, can you visualize it? Can you see it? Like, have a vision for, just like if you're trying to work out your body, like I have a vision for like how I want to look, and you start taking steps toward that. Have a vision for your marriage.
Y'all should see my picture of my vision. She thought it was so funny.
Oh my God. It's hilarious. I wish I had it. It's very hilarious. But yeah, just if you have a vision for your marriage, then do the things, do small things. Do small things with excellence. Like, even if it's small, do it to the best of your ability. Don't just do it to appease. Do it to the best of your ability and watch those small things change the trajectory of the relationship. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I heard.
She's telling you what
I
she
know.
knows.
Because we done lived it. And we on year 22.
She remembered today.
I did.
All right.
Because I usually be saying, what is it, 22? I know it's in the 20s. So, but yeah, y'all, we thank y'all so much for joining in.
Yes.
This
has
for
been
tuning
great.
In. I mean,
great interaction tonight.
For staying with us, staying in the fight, staying in the game.
So this is the time where we open up for questions. Does anyone have any questions about value or anything else? You can have questions about the solar flares that recently.
A marriage full of value is a truly rich marriage. When you value,
you just made that up.
No, I didn't.
I was going to praise you.
But
I was going to give you vocal gratitude.
Gratitude or
gratitude. I'm reading it. Okay. It's not gratification.
I don't know. I want to keep saying that. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so some great nuggets and laughter tonight. Thank you so much, single mama that could.
Thank you.
But yeah, anybody have any questions?
Repeat that again. You said what you just said.
What I say?
What the last thing you said?
A marriage full of value is a truly rich marriage. It's truly rich.
I like that your brain works so well that you remember stuff so good, except for when we argue, and then I don't want you to remember everything.
And then I write things down. How do you restore?
You wrote that down?
I write things down. I have a question here. How do you restore feeling value in your marriage? So, how do you restore feeling value? You mean descent on both parts? Like, do you not feel valued, or do you feel like, or does the spouse not feel valued? As far as restoration, let's see. And then somebody said, okay, remember that one. How can a man learn to heal trust again after being cheated on by previous girlfriends? As a woman, how would you date a man like that? She said both parts. So the sensor said both parts, and then single mama that could had another question for a man. So
let's go with the first.
So the first one says, how do you restore feeling value in your marriage? I will say the first thing is to have the conversation.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Find out. Well, I guess in this situation, maybe you don't feel valued. So that then the first thing you have to do is have the conversation with your spouse, if it's you or if you're asking for someone else. But the first initial thing to do is, like we talked about before earlier, is the attitude, your attitude toward the spouse. What about them? Do you remembering your why? Remembering, why you're with that person, and even if you don't feel valued. What am I saying? Even if you don't feel valued, remember why you value them, and then have the conversation with them to simply say, I just want to be honest with you and let you know that I don't feel valued or cherished in this relationship. And hopefully that opens up a dialogue so that things can come out, because they may not know that you don't feel valued or cherished in your relationship.
Because we can never hold someone accountable for something we've never shared with them.
Absolutely. Because undisclosed expectations sets you up for failure. It sets you up for disappointment. I'm sorry, not failure. It sets you up for disappointment because you've never disclosed to them your expectations or how you felt about a thing. And then you're hurt, but they never knew. So then you're automatically, inevitably disappointed. So, so in both parties, and then ask him. And if it's you, the first thing you can do, you're very welcome, is to ask him. I want to just be transparent with you and ask you, do you feel like I value you in our relationship? Do you feel valued? And when you have these conversations, people, like we always say,
be ready.
It takes a level of maturity like you ain't never, ever stepped into before. It takes a level of maturity because it's hard to hear the truth. It is.
It can be.
And you might think you're doing it good. You might think you're doing well. And he like, no. And I'm like, oh, I'm not like so. And this is what I'll say. Please resist the urge to defend yourself. If you don't do nothing else, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen and listen some more. They're gonna say some stuff that triggers you. Ooh, it's gonna trigger. You're gonna be wanting to defend yourself. But in that moment, listen to what they're saying. Because if we are always trying to defend ourselves, we really truly never hear. This is what we say. Get a pen and paper. Let them know while we're having this conversation. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be, no type of way. I'm going to take notes as you're talking so that we can come back to this later because I don't want to forget. Because sometimes in a conversation, you so fixated on that one thing they said, you trying to hold on to that. So you really can't hear the rest of what they're saying. So, okay, I'm going to write this down. You said, I'll be talking to you crazy in front of your mama. Okay, continue. You know what I'm saying? And just let them talk. We have done this.
Mm-hmm.
We do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it works because
Mm-hmm.
now we get to address
everything
point, every bullet point. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you feel like it's getting too heated or whatever, let's put a pen in it. I may actually, let's write a note. Relative to this point when you said whatever. But this is when, like I said, you have to be mature and find ways to resolve the issues. Because some of the stuff that people are getting divorced over and breaking up, it's not even necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for you to be divorced. It's just that we didn't have any conflict resolution skills. People, we didn't. We just was like, he didn't know what I want to do. She didn't know what we ain't having no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus having a vulnerable conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that helped you because I really went off on a tangent.
No,
so
you was right on point.
I mean, I was on point, but it was going. So then we have another question.
How can a man learn to heal, trust again after being cheated on by previous girlfriends? As a woman, how would you date a man like that? So is that to me or to you?
I ask about this is a question, just two questions.
Okay. So from a male, one of the things that I would say is just like the song Music had, Previous Cats. I'm not to blame. For I can't remember the song now. Not to blame. I'm not to blame for the pain that was caused by previous cats.
Right.
So whatever happened before, I'm not that person.
Right.
The question becomes, are you exhibiting some of those traits of that person that they dealt with before?
Ooh, that's
so hard. Was it that what was I trying to say? You're not them, but are you acting or being like them in some type of way? Is it a trigger for them that something that you said is the same thing that homegirl did before she cheated on me? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So again, it goes back to conversation, communication.
Yeah.
What is it about those situations that seem to be a trigger for him in the relationship that you're in right now?
Right.
That would be the first thing that I would say. Mm-hmm. And then,
but you answered the second question. As a woman, how would you date a man like that? That's that second question. You ain't answered the first one yet. How can a man learn to heal?
Oh, okay.
So you answered both of them.
Oh, so how can a man learn to heal or trust? Some things just take time. And the question becomes, are you willing to take the time that it's going to take for that person to heal? First question becomes, do they want to heal? You know what I'm saying? Some people like being in the middle and being woe is me, they thrive in that. Mm-hmm. There are people in our families that they not sick, but they're hypochondriacs. So it's always something wrong with them, but they don't have a prescription for nothing. You see what I'm saying? So you got to ask, do you want to be better? Right. And again, that goes back to having a conversation. You know, I understand first acknowledging the issue. I understand that these women did these things. Is there something that I'm saying or doing that may cause you to go back there? You know what I'm saying? Right. After you establish that, do you want to move on? Because the thing we have to think about is, are we going to be solution minded in this relationship? Right. We can acknowledge the fact that that's happened, but do we want to move forward with that person? Right. Then I'm going to put this back on you. Do you want to be involved in that process? Because until this comes on, you got options. You know what I'm saying? If they want to, if they're like, yo, baby, you know, I feel and I understand. We're gonna get to you, Jackie. We're gonna let you jump in for a sec. She want to jump in with. She requested to join. But you want to know, okay, are you committed to changing? I know that there are some things that happen in my relationships that I'm still dealing with, right? Okay, yes, I am. The next thing I would say then is, do you want to go talk to somebody about it? It's not as prevalent in our community, but speaking to a therapist or somebody like that would be a great way, because there may be some things and some underlying issues within that man that he doesn't even realize that he needs healing from. Right. So I think that would be my answer. Right. So and then did you answer the first part about you said it's just gonna take time. Yeah. How does a man heal from that? It's just gonna take time, and him being honest with you, if you're the person that he wants to go through that healing process with, about what it is. Because you can't just say, oh, well, I've been cheated on in the past. Okay, well, that's great. But if this is causing an issue in our relationship, like he said, what are the triggers? Is it something that I'm doing that's making you feel like, you know, I might be that way because you can't hold me accountable for something that someone else did? You know what I'm saying? So that was a great answer. Very, very good. Thank you. You just want to touch me. So Jackie, did you want to come on? Did you want to join our live, or did you? Or was that an accident? Because I saw I was going to bring you in. Because I know you be doing your hair and stuff. But thank you, single mama that could. I hope that helped. Share with your friends and your mamas and your auntie and your aunties. And while we're waiting to hear back from Jackie, does anybody else have any questions? Thank y'all for the questions. We love the dialogue. We love questions. We do. We do. We're gonna actually start having guests on the show, y'all. In January. Next month. Yeah, in January we're gonna have a guest on. You want to tell them who it is? I don't want to tell them yet. Why? Oh, wait. And then you can, because I'm gonna start promoting it. I'm gonna start promoting it in January. But this person has wrote a book. Yes, we're actually gonna have a guest that's a celebrity. Right. Our first guest is gonna be a celebrity. And y'all know who he is. If y'all are in, let's see, 35 maybe and up. I mean, people gonna know him anyway, but I'm just saying, like, y'all gonna know him from. Yeah. I'm good, just supporting y'all. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, so our first guest is a celebrity. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's absolutely cool. Yeah. And so, but yeah, if anybody got any other questions? Anything else? Please, if you guys would be so kind, go and if you're not following us on social media, please go follow Marriage is Real. Please share this video. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, because y'all finna see. It's just finna go down. It's finna go down. Yes. Yeah. Yes, you're gonna. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So, what was I gonna say? So tonight was value. Don't forget, it starts with the attitude. How you think about it. Remember to value your spouse. Value. Okay. And a marriage full of value is truly a rich marriage. Don't make it about you. Make it about them. Just like every day with HK said, selflessness. Selflessness. If that's not the foundation of your marriage, you in trouble. Yep. You can make it, but it's going to be hard. Selflessness, communication. Fanny Mildred, what's going on? Thank you for joining in. Selflessness, communication, and what? Huh?
Selflessness, communication, and
doing it. I mean, what else is there? That's gonna be my answer to everything. Y'all think I'm playing when we coach couples? What do I always ask?
How much sex are you having?
Are y'all doing it? No, I say, are y'all doing it?
Because it does matter. It does. So
yeah, it matters because you can hear better than after you done did it.
And y'all, this is another thing. Do you know of anyone marrying late in life? Oh, this is a question out here. Do you know of anyone? Oh, Lord, what happened? Do you know of anyone marrying late in life? It just says, AC Exec 81. Did your question get cut off?
Thank you, Fanny, for joining us.
Did your question get cut off? AC Exec 81. It says, oh, okay. They said I'm 39 and I am like, I don't know if I should. Oh, okay. So we know of anyone married late in life? Yes.
A lot of statistically speaking, people are starting to get married later in life now. For example, like we got married real young, and we don't always suggest that.
Hey, Project Skeeter, what's up?
Project Skeeter?
Welcome.
But yeah, a lot of people are starting to get married later in life now.
A lot of people.
And the thing about that too is we don't know what God's timing is. I don't know if you're a religious person or not, but we don't know God's timing. We want what we want, but there's an appointed time for God's favor. That's one of my sayings. I say all the time.
Right. And sometimes it's about you getting you ready. Because I hear so many women say, I want a godly spouse and I want a godly man. I want a man that love the Lord and woo. But I'm gonna tell you something, it's not always easy being married to a air quotes godly man, because you don't just get to do whatever. Because that man gonna say, you know what? Let me pray about this. Let's pray about this. Let's see what God has to say about it. But you just want to go get you a new car. But he's like, no, we need to pray about it and see what. And then do you want the godly man then? Right. Do you want to do what you want to do?
And sometimes a godly man will say no. I mean, we're together in the process, but he's no.
But see, what I'm saying is sometimes you want something that you may not necessarily be ready for. So in this process of you being 39, it could have just taken you this long to get to a point to just be ready to say, you know what, I think I can do this. And again, the attitude and the mental, how are you thinking about it? Because there is so much negativity around marriage and the stereotype and the narrative of marriage ain't good. It's this, that, it's hard, it's bad, it's hard. It's you hear so much negative, but marriage can be such a beautiful thing. Who wants to do life by themselves? You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing that as humans that we need is connection. And connection don't always have to be a spouse. I understand that. But even science says that people in a loving relationship live longer. Why do you think that is? This is how
they be doing it.
But this is even how God set it up from the beginning. He gave Adam Eve. He gave Eve Adam because he said it's not good for us to be alone. It's something so liberating, and in the right relationship and in the right marriage, you will thrive. I don't ask anybody. Yes, you're going to have some ups and some downs, and you're going to have that in life anyway. You're going to have that by yourself. So what? People just always want to make the worst and default to the bad, as opposed to looking at and spotlighting the good of what a union can be. And I'm not an advocate for young marriage. And I say young, I mean your mentality. If you're not emotionally mature to be in a relationship, then you don't need to do it yet. But you're 39 years old. I'm sure you probably at a point where you done been through a lot and you feel like, I can do this now. This hair is all over there. I'm like a lion. But at 39, I would have definitely got married. I'm a totally different person. Of course, I'm this person based on the dynamic of us being together. But even outside of being with him, who I just think that I would have eventually become, by 39, I would have been, okay, I can do this. Because now you have two mature people. Now we know how to go into, let's talk about this. Let's do this. How we going to do this? How we going to split this? Sometimes they say it's harder because people are so set in their ways. But again, when you're valuing someone and you're not making it about yourself, And like H and K said, selflessness is really not hard. It's really not hard to be in a union is what I'm saying. Marriage does have its hard times, but marriage is work. It's not just, oh my God, marriage is so hard. I don't want to do this. It's not like, working on the railroad. It's just, it's work. And anything that's worth having is worth working for. If you never got a degree, you don't ever went to school, you don't ever did anything, you have a job, it's working. At the end of that shift or whatever, that 2 weeks, guess what you get?
A check.
A check. You get a reward. I'm just saying, like, it's all in the way that we think about it and we look at it. Of course, and the person that you know who you get with. So are those questions or those just comments?
Comments. Fannie Mildred, send me a message on Instagram. Send us a DM on Marriage is Real. I want to holler at you offline.
Thank you, Project Skeeter. He said it's negative because there are not enough couples doing what you two are doing. And unfortunately, Project Skeeter, that's so true. And that's one of the reasons why we really wanted to do this.
Right. We're trying to be a beacon of hope for marriage. Because the stuff we be seeing online, like y'all don't know how many conversations we have and be like, yo, when we get national with this thing for real, people.
We national now, but I'm just saying,
okay.
we on Instagram is national.
Okay, you're right.
But what I'm saying is,
talking about like on TV and stuff.
Some of the stuff that we hear is so stupid.
It's scary.
It is. It's stupid, but
because everybody with a camera has a platform.
Everybody got
a phone.
Everybody got a stage,
right?
And everybody has an audience. And depending on a person's background or whatever, you really listen to that person because what? Because they cute,
right?
Because they look good,
right? Been married 20 minutes.
But what validity do they have to tell you that what you're doing is wrong or how you feel is not right or whatever? Like that man, what his name? Kevin Samuel, whatever. I don't know his name. Damon showed me that video. He was talking to that lady. I was just like, I can't even watch it. I can't even keep watching it. It's just so, y'all, it's a lot out here that just is not, it's just not, it's not great. It's not helpful. It is not helpful to the institution of marriage or to, people. And then, I'll say this and we're going to close out. But people say, well, we ain't got to get married. What's that baby name? Oprah and Stedman ain't never got married. Kurt Russell and whoever the lady name is. All these people they ain't been married. They've been together 30 years though. What do you think they are? Okay, you ain't went and did it and put a ring on. But what are you in a relationship with this person for 30 years. You just married without the ceremony. That's all it is. That's what I'm saying. Like you still in a relationship. It's just okay.
Probably this you talking about. Don't forget us little people when we become national. We ain't gonna forget.
Project Skeeter in the house. No, we'll never forget. Y'all, our supporters is the reason why we do this, and so we're so grateful to you guys, and we love y'all so much just for coming back, and listening to us every Monday. And
please, if y'all get a chance on a side note, go check out our store.
The Etsy store.
The Marriage is Real store.
Yeah, we're gonna.
The link is in the bio in Instagram.
We're gonna start doing some other designs and stuff too. So, but right now we're just doing Etsy.
10,000 items. Right
now. Oh Lord,
that's what we're gonna sell. 10,000.
But yeah,
that's gonna be our start.
Okay. So anyway, your attitude toward your spouse will definitely change your marriage. And when you have the attitude of value, your marriage will truly, truly become more rich, just richer. So how they do it? How they do it? The what's it called? The chefs, when something is good, they be so happy. So good.
Fannie Mildred, okay, got IG. Send me an email, marriageisreal@gmail.com. You said any advice for your new career? Show people love. That's all. That's all we doing is showing people love.
Put it in there. And Marriage is Real. Type it.
Oh, see, we got all this technology. I don't even know. I be forgetting this here.
But yeah, so anyway, y'all, that's one love.
We getting ready to.
One love,
Y'all, if anybody has any questions or if anybody needs any coaching or anything like that, y'all hit us up. We're everything Marriage is Real. When you type in Marriage is Real in Google, we come up. So we certified. No spaces. No spaces.
Marriage is Real, one word.
Yeah. So hit us up if y'all have anything. If y'all want us to come speak somewhere, That's what we're supposed to be doing next year. We're
For
supposed to be
2021,
2021.
post-COVID.
Yeah, we're gonna be going places and speaking and stuff like that. So we love y'all so much. Please follow, share, like, comment. You know, we just appreciate everything and all the love. And we are here if you need us, but we're going to sign off because if I sit here too much longer, my stomach gonna really be growling real loud. And
thank you, the single mama that could. Thank y'all so much for staying with us all
Yeah.
this time. Hey, Stronger Marriages.
Hey, Stronger Marriages, thank you.
Back.
Yeah, thank you so much. But we're gonna shut it down for the night, and we will see y'all talking about crave, the E, execute next time.
Maybe next week, but if not, it'll be a week after that. But love y'all.
Love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Deuces.